Valley Talk on News Talk 1580 KGAL.
Welcome to Valley Talk. Hi, I'm Dave Adams. It's a beautiful Monday. It's been trying to rain some parts of the Mid-Willamette Valley today, but looking outside and seeing some sunshine, and that looks good for the summertime to come. Glad you're with us today. We are going to be having a full show once again. First of all, we're going to be talking about Honor Flight One Last Mission. That is a movie that KGAL is helping to co-sponsor, along with Bertram's Medals and some other fine folks, as a fundraiser for Honor Flight. Now, Honor Flight is a program where hubs from all over the country fly World War II veterans back to Washington, D.C. at the expense of the Honor Flight program, so that we pay honor to those veterans who have not yet been able to go back there and see that memorial, and pay them the honor they so deserve. On the phone with us right now is Mike Pungercar. In fact, Mike is fresh back from an Honor Flight trip this last weekend to Washington, D.C. Mike, thanks for being with us on Valley Talk.
Thanks, Dave. I got to admit, this morning I'm not sure I'm feeling so fresh as much as exhausted.
Not fresh as a daisy, a little bit of a jet lag there.
A little bit of jet lag. It was one heck of a trip.
So how many trips have you flown from the Mid-Willamette Valley hub?
This was actually only our second trip. This is our third group we took. We took two groups in October. I just had this trip come back with 25 veterans last night, and 2 weeks from Thursday we'll head back to D.C. again with 27 more vets.
Why is it such important? Why is it so important to do this?
It's a timing issue. All of these veterans are between 85 and 95 years of age. Their time is running out. We have a mix when we go. Some of these veterans at 91 or 92 can run circles around me, and other ones are in failing health, and they need people to help push them in their wheelchairs or help tell them what they're seeing a little bit, because their vision isn't that good anymore. It's just a time-sensitive program. Across the country, we're losing 1,100 to 1,300 of our World War II veterans every day, and right here in Oregon, they say 40 to 45 a day are passing away. So,
how many veterans did you take this last weekend? Where were they from?
We had 25 veterans, and they were from the four-county area. We had 4 from Florence, a number from Eugene and Springfield. We had veterans from Cottage Grove, Cresswell, Albany, Corvallis, Walton, Oregon. Like I say, anywhere within Lane, Lynn, Lincoln, and Benton County that I cover, we take World War II veterans, get their applications into us, and put them on the flights as soon as we can.
What does it mean to the veterans? Describe for us a little bit about the experience they have and how important it is for them to go back, be a part of this program, and see the World War II Memorial and others.
To describe this experience, especially after just coming off of one, wow. Almost to a veteran, they will say it's nothing they expected. It's so much more than anything they would have ever hoped for, and it's a trip of a lifetime. The trip is an aggressive one. We gather on Portland on Thursday night and have dinner up there as we get everything organized, and get up early Friday morning, 3 o'clock. We departed Portland Airport at 6:30 with our group of 53 people total. Spent the night and had dinner in D.C. on Friday night. On Saturday is tour day. We got up at 6, had breakfast. At 8 o'clock, we were on a bus, and we were heading for downtown D.C. Our first visit at 8 o'clock was from at the World War II Memorial. We had representatives from Senator Wyatt and staff that were there to greet us and helped us with the presentation of an American flag to each of the veterans that were on the trip, flags that were flown over the U.S. Capitol. We also had a visit from a young lady who was from the staff of Dr. Biden, Vice President Biden's wife. One of the veterans on the flight had actually written a letter to the White House telling them we were coming in and, inviting them to come down and join us, and unfortunately the schedules were such that they couldn't. But Mrs. Biden was touched so much by the program, and she wanted to make sure that she sent a representative there to thank all these veterans for their service. From the World War II Memorial, we went to the Lincoln Memorial, where the loop takes us through the Korean and Vietnam memorials. We had lunch at the FDR Memorial. After lunch, we took them to the Navy Memorial, then the Air Force Memorial. Then we went to Arlington National Cemetery for the 4 o'clock changing of the guard. Actually got to see 2 wreath-laying ceremonies while we were there. And you talk about emotions. Wow. The group ended up finishing the tour at the Marine Corps Memorial. We went to an Elks Club in Sterling, Virginia, not too far from Dulles, where our hotel was, and we joined the North Coast California honor flight. So we had 77 from their group and 53 from ours for dinner, and it was a great time by all as these veterans were sitting with each other and sharing stories, catching up on experiences. At 9 o'clock, the gentleman from North Coast California and myself, we hated to call it quits, but we knew both groups were in prolonged days yesterday, and they headed back into Sacramento and then had a 6-hour drive back to Eureka and those areas. And we got back with our group at 4:30 last night to the Portland airport. What a greeting. What a greeting. There were over 75 military and police and fire department personnel in full dress uniforms standing all along on both sides, saluting these veterans and welcoming them home as they got back. And hundreds of family members, and it was just awesome.
Now, that was just last night, wasn't it?
That was just last night. In that respect, you're right. I'm still flying high.
Okay. So it's very important, a trip of a lifetime for these World War II veterans to go back there and see the honor that the nation is paying for their service. One of the things that we're doing, and all of us together are working, Mike Pungercar and others, we've put together 2 showings of Honor Flight One Last Mission, which is a documentary where they followed 4 World War II veterans and put a documentary film together to tell their story and what it means to these veterans. That documentary is going to be shown May 18th at the Pix Theater in Albany and May 25th at 1 p.m., both showings. May 18th at the Pix in Albany, May 25th at the River Center in Lebanon. Tickets are now being sold at Bertram's Metals, the Pix Theater, and Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. And because of the generosity of Bertram's Metals, every dime from the ticket sales will go to help pay for Mid-Willamette Valley veterans to go back on honor flight.
I can only encourage people to attend one of these 2 showings. They will never forget it. The movie is powerful. And on May 18th, while I'd love to be at the Pix Theater to greet everyone and talk to you afterwards, while you're watching that movie in Albany, I will be in Washington, D.C. that day with 27 veterans experiencing what you are witnessing in the movie. It's just an awesome event. Fill the seats in both theaters, folks. That money you raise is going to go a long way in helping get more of our veterans. It's about $1,000 a veteran for us to make this trip. The hotels we work with, charter bus companies, restaurants, they all do everything they can to keep the price down, but it still costs money to get people cross-country and back again on a 3.5-day trip, and these veterans do not pay a nickel.
So if we sell out both of these venues, 200 seats at the Pix and 800 at the River Center, that's $10,000, and we can send 10 veterans from the Mid-Willamette Valley to D.C., and you're a part of it, aren't you?
It would be great. Anybody who makes a donation becomes part of the Honor Flight program, and just know in your heart that what you're doing for these veterans is something they will never, ever forget. Neither will the family members and helpers that go along as guardians and volunteers on these trips. We pay our own way. Everything we raise goes for the veterans' costs.
Okay, Mike, we got a full show today. We'll still visit with you tomorrow and buy those tickets and help us send World War II veterans back to D.C. and fill that plane. Mike, thank you very much for all you do for Honor Flight and for veterans. Look forward to visiting with you as this goes on.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Okay, God bless.
God bless.
This is Valley Talk, and coming up, we are going to be talking to some folks here in the studio. We're going to be talking with Wyatt King and also Rob Head, who is the superintendent of the... Excuse me?
Rob Hess.
Rob Hess, sorry. Typo. Rob Hess, superintendent of the Lebanon School District, about the No Limits fundraiser and Lebanon Community Foundation and other things as well. Also in the studio, in the green room, if you will, we're going to be talking about Salem Pops, and that's coming up last part of the show. This is Valley Talk. Don't forget to get your submissions in for the Quiznos Taste on Us. We give away a $10 gift certificate at the end of every show. You can sign up by sending me an email, dave@kgal.com, or you can call the station at 926-KGAL, 451-KGAL, and be involved in the drawing for Quiznos Taste on Us. It's right next to Novak's Restaurant and across the parking lot from the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location, and you could walk away with that $10 gift certificate. So get them in, and we'll be back with the show in just a moment.
When you look out across the Willamette Valley, you'll see plenty of banking choices. Willamette Community Bank is here to give you an option that's pretty unique, like no other, in fact. Hi, this is Sue Kalina, Relationship Manager. Willamette Community Bank provides an alternative to large national and regional banks by offering customized financial services and local decision-making to benefit local people, local families, and local businesses. How many banks can say that?
Willamette Community Bank, service like no other. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
2 stages, 22 shows, 1 sweet weekend. The Oregon Jamboree in Sweet Home, presented by South Pacific Auto Sales, is turning 21. And we're celebrating with Toby Keith, Luke Bryan, Wyatt, Kip Moore, Jared Neiman, and so many more. August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Get tickets at early bird prices right now. The Oregon Jamboree, presented by South Pacific Auto Sales.
Hi, this is Shannon Jones of Jones 5 Auto Sales on 9th Street in Corvallis. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our great selection of quality pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. If you stop by after business hours, my upfront pricing makes it easy to shop and compare. I believe you should not have to ask for the price of a vehicle. It should be listed. Every vehicle is AutoCheck certified, passed by extensive safety and performance inspection. Print out both reports from your home by going online at jones5auto.com. Jones 5 Auto Sales on 9th Street in Corvallis. You'll love the way I do things.
Deep clean, squeaky clean, that's what you want for your home and business. TM Janitors has been providing just that for years throughout the Mid-Valley. Glowing reports from Paloma, North Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon. Happy, satisfied clients. Great value, too. A fraction of the price of the national franchises. Get a quote from TM Janitors today. Mention this ad and get $50 off your initial deep cleaning. Call now, TM Janitors, 570-9711. Make a note, TM Janitors, 570-9711.
Doug Burton Landscaping is growing fast with more and more satisfied customers saying,
Doug Burton takes care of my lawn.
Wouldn't you rather have a well-maintained landscape? Doug Burton is ready to go to work for you. Not just lawn mowing, year-round complete landscape maintenance for your home or business. Call Doug Burton at 791-8758. 791-8758. Click on his link at kgal.com or kshow.net. Call 791-8758 for Doug Burton Landscaping.
A good web page is a must sales tool for today's businesses. Sandy M Communications will put together an efficient, thorough web page that is right for your business. Sandy M Communications knows how to bring customers to your door and your phone. Call them at 541-223-7444. Put Sandy M Communications to work for you. Call them at 541-223-7444 or visit sandymcommunications.com.
Get tomorrow's news tonight. John Batchelor, Sunday through Friday nights on Smart Talk 1580.
Coming up on the program yet today, we're also going to be talking to Hale Thornburgh about Salem Pops celebrating their 51st season, inviting you to attend Catch a Rising Star, featuring lots of good stuff. So that's going to be coming up that last half of the show. Right now, we're going to be talking to Wyatt King and also Rob Hess. And Rob, as superintendent of the Lebanon School District. Rob, you're fresh off a 26-mile marathon to kick off No Limits.
Yes, that's right. I ran my first marathon yesterday, so I'm moving a little slow today. But yeah, I decided to do that to raise funds for the Lebanon Schools Foundation and to just kind of try to inspire myself and others to believe that there are no limits to what someone can achieve if they set their mind to it.
So let's talk about the No Limits event, No Limits fundraiser and the program. What is this all about?
We are we really believe that the step one to achieving something is to believe that you can do it. And if you believe it, you can achieve it. And so we're working with that with our students and our school district. And so we started the No Limits event last year, was the first year. This is our second year of the event. And we have activities on Friday and on Saturday, May 18th. We have school activities, kind of a field day for the elementary students on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have a number of events that we're doing in the community, including a 5K relay race, a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, a car show, a dog agility course, some rock climbing activities, and other fun things for kids and families.
So what is the No Limits fundraiser? How do you encourage and empower kids to realize that there's no limits? They can, the sky's the limit.
Well, I think it's just by communicating that message is where it starts, and then providing things that people can do to excel and achieve. And so we believe in that in the classroom, obviously, and we also believe in doing things outside the classroom to help kids achieve.
Well, it's good to see the superintendent of the schools putting on his running shoes and doing a 26-mile marathon to raise money for this and leading by example.
That was that's how it started.
So, using the money, is it for scholarships? What do you do to actually use this money?
The foundation for this goes to kind of three major things. One is classroom innovation grants. That's where teachers write proposals and we fund different activities and supplies for the classroom. Another is students in need, and whether it could be food or clothing. And then also the foundation does a lot of scholarship support. Every year we give out $20,000 to $25,000 worth of scholarships. So.
With us in the studio also is Wyatt King. Glad you're back on Valley Talk once again. No Limits Foundation. What do you think?
Well, I love the event, and I'm just so impressed with everything that they have going on. I mean, I'd really recommend coming down to this, folks, but I don't think you're going to have enough time in the day to see everything that Dr. Hess has got scheduled for this event, and I'm really excited for it. We also have, I don't know if you mentioned, but we'll have Trevor Tagle and his band doing a show as well. And I have to give a shout out to Trevor Tagle and his group because they're great musicians. I mean, they played the Jamboree last year. They're playing again this year. They're playing the Strawberry Festival, but they still find time to do a lot of charity work. And I love the fact that we're going to have them. They're also going to be at the Hall of Fame dinner. We're going to have a concert for that. But, I mean, the Lebanon Schools Foundation does a lot of good in our school system. I mean, a ton of scholarships. I can't even name all the different scholarships that they do. And the curriculum enhancements are a big thing because we all know that schools are needing funding. You know, it's tough for them to do all the things that they want to do. And the foundation helps make that possible. So I'm really excited for this event, and I think it's going to be a great time.
So in the studio right now, we have the superintendent who did a 26-mile marathon yesterday to raise money for No Limits to get the message across to the students. And interestingly enough, I told this off mic, but I watched a movie with my fiance last night, Coach Carter, about a coach in California that back in, I can't remember the exact year, but he benched an undefeated basketball team because they didn't keep their grades up. And the team rallied around, got their grades up. They lost the state championship, but the message of the movie is that they won in life. And then they had the credits at the end of the movie showed that the impact that this coach had on their lives, and they went on and became successful in life. Same thing that we're doing here with No Limits. So, Wyatt, how old are you?
I'm 24.
So you're 24 years old. You're can we call you a leader in the community, or?
Well, you can.
Okay,
I'm not going to vouch that, but you can.
But let's say you have a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of drive to see good things happen in Lebanon. So let's say that we're talking to some kids right now that are listening to the show, that maybe they're looking at the economy.
Get back to class, kids.
Okay, well, whatever. They can also hear it on the internet afterwards. So let's say they're listening to it after class. They're looking at the economy, the unemployment rate, and they're thinking, man, you know, I can't afford school. I just can't. I know you're saying no limits, but let's inspire them to realize that no matter what the obstacles are, they can achieve their dreams, their goals. What would you do? You're 24 years old. You're passionate about the Lebanon community. What would you say to inspire them to reach for their goals?
Well, the first thing that I would say is, well, to ask, have you tried? Because that's the big thing. People just need to get out there and try. They let the obstacles that they imagine, really more than that are in front of them, but the obstacles that they imagine stop them and get them scared. And I think the No Limits event is a great example of what you can do if you just go and ask. I mean, all of these activities that they have going on, you know, the music, we're trying to get some, like a petting zoo. We have to figure out the insurance first, but we're trying to get some petting zoos and horse rides in there. And it was all, I mean, we don't have a huge budget. You know, we don't have a ton of money to throw around and get these things. We've just gone and asked, and people step up. People love to help in this community, and it's why I love this town so much. If you have a cause that you believe in, it is very easy to get help and support. And so, you know, to the kids out there, if you're trying to, you know, start a project to show that you care about your cause, if you're trying to get scholarships, just get out there and do it, and you'll be surprised at what works out for you.
Dr. Hess, Rob Hess, Superintendent, Lebanon Schools, what would you add to that?
Well, I would add that when you see something that you want to achieve and you don't think it's possible, putting aside that starting with belief is where great things happen. And whether it's, Coach Carter's team or whether it's, the teacher that's working with the student, it all does start with belief. And I know each of us can look back in our lives and think of a teacher that made a difference. Someone in the schools that cared and believed and supported, and that made each of us a better person. So I think having an event like No Limits that can celebrate that and encourage more people to step up and step out and make a difference is what this is all about.
So if you had a student walk up to you today, maybe when you go back to the school, and they say, well, doctor, I heard you. Do they call you doctor, the students?
Some people do.
Okay. Rob?
And some people do that too.
I heard you on the radio this morning, and man, I just don't think I've got what it takes. What would you tell them? I want to be a doctor. I want to be whatever, and man, I just don't think I can do it. What would you say?
Well, I would say, why do you think that? And then based on that response, I would challenge that thinking, because I have noticed that that we can all do more than we think we can. And I think each of our potential is there's really no limit on that potential. And so I think that when we can help people accept that and start to believe that, and then experience some small victories along the way and build confidence. So I think that it's not just a matter of saying no limits, but it's also a matter of helping people be successful with small wins, little wins, and then build on those to achieve their dreams.
Anything else we want to add about No Limits?
Well, other than the Alumni Association, the Hall of Fame dinner, I think that we've covered just about it.
Yeah, I think you can register for this electronically online. There's a link off our webpage to sign up, so that can happen, and we encourage you to come on out. There's going to be food there, and just a good day for all. We hope we have some great weather.
Wyatt, was there something else that we wanted to visit with? This portion of the show.
Oh yeah. Okay. How are we running out of time?
Well, we've got another guest here we need to get to here in the next 5-10 minutes. So
okay, well then I will very briefly talk about the Alumni Association, then move on to the Hall of Fame, because that's what I really want to talk about. But anyways, the Alumni Association is something that I'm working with the Lebanon Community School District and the Lebanon Schools Foundation to get going. And it's going to be not only for every single Lebanon alumni, so anyone who's ever gone through the Lebanon school system, but their friends, their family, and supporters. Like, this is just an association of people who care about the Lebanon school system. And right now we have a Facebook page up and running, so you can check that out. For anybody who's not on Facebook and looking to help out, my email is Wyatt, WYATT, @RKIINC.com. And I would love to have your support, especially because we're looking to set up a board of directors. And so this board of directors will not only be responsible for in the future selecting the inductees to the Lebanon Hall of Fame, we're also looking to get like a citywide all-year reunion going, and just events like that we can use to help bring in some money to the school system.
Repeat your email address one more time, and if you missed it and need to go back, our show will be posted on KGAL.com later on. Go ahead.
So it's Wyatt @RKIInc.com, which is WYATT @RKIINC.com.
Alrighty.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Yeah, the Lebanon Hall of Fame is something we're starting this year, and we're going to induct some people that graduate from Lebanon High School in a variety of fields. So, and Wyatt's working on that project.
Mm-hmm. Well, it started off with the Lebanon Schools Foundation coming to me and asking if I'd be interested in helping them with this, and of course it was a great chance to get back to the community, and so I was excited about it. But what I'm really excited about is an idea that we really just came up with like last week, and it's just taken off. But there's been a Bud Page Award for a while now, but there's never been a scholarship attached to it. And so we're going to start using this Hall of Fame dinner as an annual fundraiser to create a Bud and Dorothy Page scholarship to go along with the Bud Page Award. And we're actually going to call it the Bud and Dorothy Page Lebanon Hall of Fame. And so we're really excited to honor two great community leaders who have just given, you can't even put a value or a list of everything they've done for our town. And I'm really excited that we were able to make that happen. But anyways, the Hall of Fame dinner is going to be on May 18th at the Lebanon Elks. And we're having a dinner at the beginning for the first 100 people who sign up. And that's going to be catered by Sharon Albion, who's going to have a prime rib or chicken dinner and her world-famous cheesecake dessert bar, which I have not yet tried, but I just hear so many good things about.
You'll be blown away.
world famous in cheesecake in the same sentence. I'm there.
And it's not the Cheesecake Factory, folks. It's way better than that. But anyways, then we're going to do the ceremony from 6:45 to 7:45. And then afterwards, starting at 8, Trevor Tagle and his group will be coming in, and we're doing an open to everyone concert, and it'll be a $5 cover charge to come in, and that's all going to go straight to the scholarship so we can get it set up and going.
And tickets for the dinner are $25 a piece, and that will include being able to meet our first inductees into the Lebanon Hall of Fame.
Now, where's the Hall of Fame going to be located?
It's going to be located at the high school so that it can inspire students. We've got a room set up there, and we're going to, get pictures and kind of lists of what these people achieved, and really promote the excellence that has come from Lebanon High School in the areas of sports and medicine and acting and all kinds of, you name a field, we'll find someone that did great things in it.
From Lebanon?
From Lebanon High School.
There you go. Wyatt, anything... we have a full show today, so is there anything else that we need to visit about?
Just really quickly, and not only we're looking for people to be on the board of directors for the Alumni Association, but we would love some more help on the Hall of Fame dinner itself, getting that set up and going. And so if, you love your town and you have a couple of minutes, shoot me an email. There's definitely something that I could use some help with, and I would really appreciate it, folks.
One more time on the email address.
Wyatt at rkiinc.com. That's WYATT at rkiinc.com.
And as you continue with the efforts for the Lebanon Hall of Fame, then one of the things that we're doing with Valley Talk that I'm pretty excited about personally is getting them more on the road more and getting out in the community. So we're looking for venues, we're looking for topics, we're looking, we're here in our Albany studio in Lebanon, an Albany studio for Valley Talk for KGAL. And beautiful studio, love to work out of here, but we also like to get out in the streets and see what's going on and talk to people and just get the microphones out there and say what's going on in your community. And one of the things we'd kind of like to do is to maybe, like as we're doing it at a restaurant or cafe, have a bit of an open mic, controlled open mic, and just to have people share with, what's going on.
Yeah, that'd be great. You're welcome to come to any of these events and set up shop. Just let us know.
So as Lebanon Alumni Association, the Hall of Fame proceeds forward, stay in touch with us, and we want to share with the folks what's going on.
We love it. We appreciate that.
That's great.
This is Valley Talk, and thank you to Wyatt King and Dr. Rob Hess, who looks very fit for his 26. What place did you finish?
Oh, I somewhere in the middle. But yeah, my goal was 4 hours and 30 minutes. Well, first goal was to finish, and then 4 hours and 30 minutes, and I got it done in 4:09. So I met my goal, and I can barely walk today.
I'll bet. When I was in school, I was a sprinter, and you long-distance guys I really marveled at you because I simply didn't have the breath to, I'd be passed out if I tried to do 26 miles.
Well, you're surprised what you could do, Dave, if you trained.
No limits.
No limits.
There you go. That's the message of the day. Thank you for being with us on Valley Talk. We are going to be coming back and visiting with Hale Thornburgh here in just a moment about the 51st season for Salem Pops. Hale Thornburgh on mic here on Valley Talk. In just a moment, stay with us.
The Osgood File, sponsored in part by Cassidy Turley. Discover clarity in commercial real estate services. Discover the value of market intelligence. Discover Cassidy Turley. This is Charles Osgood. On our Sunday morning TV broadcast, Serena Altschul took us to see Professor Larry Bonisser's lab at Cornell to see what I told you about on Friday. A child-sized ear turned out by a 3D printer.
Oh my gosh, it has
and
like
it
a
has
real
the feel of tissue.
It's called bioprinting.
The whole process of printing is completed within about 15 minutes or so.
15 minutes for an ear.
15 minutes for an ear.
Wow, just order one up.
Not quite that simple, as you'll hear after this. The IRS issued an identity theft alert to the millions of Americans who pay taxes, including many of my listeners. Here's former Mayor Rudy Giuliani with a LifeLock identity theft alert.
As a mayor and former federal prosecutor, fighting crime has always been my mission. Now I'm taking on identity theft. The problem has become such a global concern, you can no longer think it will never happen to you. I protect myself with LifeLock Ultimate, and you should too.
Consumers beware. Identity thieves know that virtually everything they need to steal your identity and even your life savings is on your tax forms. Do what Mayor Giuliani did and do what I did. Arm yourself with LifeLock Ultimate. Visit LifeLock.com for details and use my last name, Osgood, to get a special 10% discount. Or call LifeLock and mention Osgood. 1-800-838-8040. That's 1-800-838-8040. This is important. So, one more time, 1-800-838-8040.
Network does not cover all transactions and scope may vary.
Once again, here's Serena Altschul.
Bioprinting is the latest form of 3D printing. Imagine using a home printer, but instead of working in just 2 dimensions, this printer creates in 3 dimensions.
In manufacturing, 3D printers are turning out all sorts of things.
A nozzle lays down a stream of plastic, metal, or ceramic. Layer after layer, it slowly forms an object. Everything from toys to cars, even human tissue.
In this case, yes.
The printer deposits layers of living cells, forming the shape of a small ear. Within minutes, the cells begin to grow and bind to one another. When the ear is finally implanted underneath the skin, it will actually grow like a normal ear. Currently, the printed ears are in animal trials.
The first commercial bioprinter in San Diego is already printing human blood vessels for use in cancer drug research. Professor Bonasart.
People are very interested in this for things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, motor defects in the spinal cord. Printing is a potentially blockbuster development because patterning the cells in a way that makes sense that the body needs them patterned is really critical. This is a fantastic tool to be able to do that.
The Osgood File. Charles Osgood on the CBS Radio Network.
The event to help you live well and age well. Returning to the Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, May 18th from 9 to 3. Great music, fun demonstrations, healthy screenings with experts to guide you along, and fun for the entire family. Free admission and lots of prizes. 50 and older, looking forward to a healthy future? You'll find the answers and resources to help you thrive at the Live Well and Age Well Expo, Saturday, May 18th. Lynn County Fair and Expo Center, presented by the Senior Services Foundation and Samaritan Health. For more information, go to agingwellexpo.org.
If you've never been to a Tree of Life Christian Outlet warehouse sale, you've missed the biggest sale in Oregon for Christian merchandise. That's right, the biggest sale in Oregon. Tree of Life Christian Outlet's warehouse sale only happens twice a year. There will be thousands of books 50% off, hundreds of Bibles 40% off, hundreds of gift items 50% off, and hundreds of witness apparel 50% off. This Thursday through Saturday, just in time for Mother's Day, is your chance to stock up on Mom's favorite Christian books, Bibles, music, apparel, homeschooling, and gift items, all at wholesale prices. That's right, wholesale. Just think, you'll have your Mother's Day shopping done early and save enough to shop for you, too. And Saturday is Kids Day, so grab a camera and come and meet the Berenstain Bears. The first 100 kids get a free book. Bring your friends and buy at wholesale prices on thousands of books and Bibles. That's this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at our warehouse on Isabel Street in West Eugene. For directions, call toll-free 888-33-BIBLE.
Jim Bohannon, weeknights on News Talk 1580, KGAL.
Welcome back to Valley Talk. In the studios with us once again, back on microphone, Hale Thornburgh from the Salem Pops Orchestra. Hale, always good to have you here on Valley Talk today.
Thank you very much.
And Salem Pops celebrating their 51st season, Catch a Rising Star, featuring their 2013 Del Milne Memorial Scholarship winner and other special guests Saturday, May 4th, 7:30 p.m. at the historic Elsinore Theater in Salem. I had to put some dramatic effect in it. Did I do well?
Beautifully done. The only thing
historic
is, it also translates to hysterical. But,
okay.
Actually, if one improvement I would say is Catch a Rising Star.
There you go.
Just because they're the young folks that participated in our scholarship competition, and part of that is to actually have an audition. And the 5 finalists this year performed so well. They're just scary good. I think, man, I'm glad I'm not competing against those young people.
Some talented kids out there, isn't there?
They are. As a matter of, the reason we only have 3 of the finalists participating is because 2 of them are competing in the statewide competition that same day, Saturday the 4th. And we're pretty sure that they could not get back in time for the concert. So we went with the 3 that we knew could be there, which included the scholarship winner.
All right. Let's talk about the specifics for the concert. Time, place, how much it costs, and tell us a little bit.
Well, you've hit it with the historic Elsinore Theater, 7:30 p.m. That's in downtown Salem. The cost is $15 for general admission, $18 for mezzanine reserve. That's a section of the theater, not individual seats, and $5 for students with an ID card. kids 12 and under accompanied by an adult are free.
Can't beat that price.
No, it's just excellent. But that means you have to bring a paying adult along. And that's what we're trying to do, is get people in the seats to hear these young people. I think of them as the future of music. See, a lot of us are getting kind of old and decrepit. Snaggletooth, gray-haired, that sort of thing.
We can't run the marathons anymore.
No, I get winded saying the word marathon.
Yeah.
So, just
you and I
awful.
both.
Right.
So that has something to do with the specifics about the Catch a Rising Star, the theme.
That's right.
The young people coming up and Catch a Rising Star. Let's talk about that.
The folks that, many of them are well known in their own schools, but of course the public hasn't heard about them. So this is an opportunity we see to showcase these diverse talents to an audience that otherwise might never get to hear them. And there's three just incredibly fine young people that are going to be playing. They're all graduating seniors. That's the part of the competition, is that's a $1,000 scholarship to a graduating senior. So these young folks are serious in their pursuit of it. They want to hear their names?
I would love to.
Okay. And I'll even tell you what they're going to play.
Great.
First of all, there's a young lady named Abigail Brokamp, Abby Brokamp, who stands, she's diminutive, let me put it this way. And then she opens her mouth and sings these marvelous soprano melodies. She's doing two numbers, one of which is a standard for all sopranos. It's the waltz from Romeo and Juliet, Je veux vivre, by Charles Gounod. And then on a completely different tack, she is doing Taylor the Latte Boy, essentially a love story based on a Starbucks encounter. And she sparkles. It's just wonderful to hear.
That's somewhat of a modern sonnet?
Yeah, it's just 10 years old, something like that. She's able to showcase her personality, not just her voice. It's a real treat. Then, for something completely different, Tyler Goldman is the senior from Sprague, is going to be playing the Preludium and Allegro by Fritz Kreisler, which is one of the show-off pieces that all violinists get to play. And Tyler is just another marvelous talent. Our winner this year was a young lady named Ariana Parks. She's a pianist, and she is doing Mozart with the accompaniment of the orchestra. He's doing, you're going to like this, there's a lot of numbers, because in Mozart it's Concerto number 18 in B-flat, Kerschel 456, the Rondo, which is the fast last movement of the concerto. And she rehearsed it with us last Monday night, playing on this electric piano that we have at our rehearsal space. I've never heard that piano sound that good before. It's truly amazing. So those are the three young people will be Abby Brokamp, Tyler Goldman, and Ariana Parks, playing and singing their way, we hope, to future stardom. It's going to be a real treat. Just to have them with us is inspirational to us old people.
Remember Walter Cronkite?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and he had this thing that he was, and you were there.
That's right. I used to watch, I watched that program religiously in the early 1950s.
And so you'll be able to see some rising stars of tomorrow today.
Right.
Like Walter would say, and you were there.
A night like all nights, filled with those events that alter and illuminate our time. And you were there.
There you go. What's the cost, and where do they buy tickets?
The cost is, well, again, it's $15 for general admission, $18 for mezzanine, $5 if you're a student with an AS card. Buy tickets primarily at the Elsinore ticket office. You can buy them either at the box office at the door, or they're available during the day. So the Elsinore is the place to buy the tickets.
What do you think about these young students? And I think one of the things we want to mention to folks is, if you're not around kids, Ben, and your experience with the younger genre, the younger people in our society, is the skateboarders and so on and so forth, you really need to go to something like this and see what these kids are doing and the talent and what they're bringing to the table for the next generation.
I agree completely. You have to do that. You, being the general public, who probably reads more about bad things happening with kids than with good things, most of the young people that are involved in the music programs that advance as far as even trying for a scholarship are serious about their study of music. They're participating in it. And that actually brings up the second part of our scholarship program, which is tuition assistance for kids going to music camps during the summer. And those can be, well, we have 7 winners of those this year. Those do not require an audition, but all the contestants, all the applicants, have to complete an essay on what music means in their lives, what camps they're going to. They have to have satisfactory grades, and they have to have recommendations from music teachers and another adult. So it's not just a whim, oh, let's kill some time this summer by going to a music camp. They have to be involved in music. What we're hoping will happen, a lot of these kids are not going to become professional musicians. They're not going to make their living playing the trumpet or violin or singing.
Right.
But we want them to stay involved in music with community organizations like the Salem Pops or whatever it might happen to be, wherever they happen to end up, but to stay involved, playing their horns, playing their fiddles, singing their songs, whatever it might be.
Why is music so important to these young people, and why is music so important to this society at large?
To me, it's a form of enlightening the spirit. It's a joy to participate in music, to listen to it, to see it, to participate in it as a singer or as a performer. I'm 71 years old. I've been involved in music for over 60 years.
What do you play?
I play timpani.
Okay.
I can stand on the back and hit drums. Can't beat it.
I
was going to say you can't beat it with a stick, but that's exactly what I use.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah.
We'll be here all week.
That's right.
Okay.
And a lot of our members are as old as I am. Some of them are in high school. The age difference in the Salem Pops is from high school to octogenarian.
80.
Yeah.
And above.
We have everything from us retired state employees to Supreme Court judges, justices, to lawyers, teachers, hangers, ne'er-do-wells like other musicians.
But one of the cool things about music is you've kind of inferred this a little bit. It's kind of music of the soul, expression of the soul, and it levels a playing field. You talked about Supreme Court justices, bankers probably,
right,
and retired state employees, and it makes everyone understand that we all essentially human and all of the same species, and it gives us something in common.
That's a very precise phrase, something in common, and that is the rehearsal, the practice, and the performance of music for your own and others' enjoyment. It's like a wonderful league association. You get to musicians, and the talk can go into that very, very esoteric language of who wrote what and when, and who played what and when. It's a marvelous way to express your individuality and your community with other people with like interests, skills, tastes.
Don't you think also music is important for us to maintain, how do I want to say this, waxing poetic and philosophical this morning, but to remain human? I mean, there's so much gore in the news, and you watch the evening news and you see bombs going off and so on and so forth, and such horrific carnage that's being wreaked across the planet in the name of whatever. But when we do something like the music and the humanities, just by virtue of the name, the humanities, it restores us to kind of puts us in touch with ourselves.
It does. And if you listen to the aftermath of all of the different forms of carnage that we encounter, whether it was 9/11 or whether it was the Boston Marathon bombings, the wrap-up always includes a musical tribute of some kind. It always does.
And that's important.
And that's very important, because that is the anchoring point, the center, that brings closure to something tragic, and oftentimes will lend a feeling of victory, a feeling of elation, perhaps even joy, over rising above the occasion that caused the sorrow.
You think music can be termed as an expression of the soul?
Oh, it is. It is, very much so. And it's not only a window to the soul, it's an ear to the soul.
There you go. We are talking to Hale Thornburgh, and we're talking about the Salem Pops Orchestra celebrating their 51st season. More on that when we return with Valley Talk in just a moment.
Going out to lunch at a nice restaurant can be expensive, and the big portions put you more in the mood for a nap than a productive afternoon. Mama's Fine Italian to the rescue. The small appetite senior menu is just right. Anyone and everyone is invited to order from the Light Appetites menu for lunch from 11 to 4 p.m. with tasty entrees beginning at only $3.95. Why go hungry or go anywhere else for lunch? Eat healthy, eat light at Mama's. Closed Sunday and Monday, so make the most of Tuesday through Friday and join your friends at Mama's for lunch. Dinner only on Saturday. Mama's features charbroiled steaks every day. Make reservations for dinner or pick up a bottle of fine wine. Seating is limited, so please call for reservations. 541-451-5050. That's 451-5050. Mama's Fine Italian and Wine Shop on West Oak between Main and 2nd in Lebanon, across from the Big Blue Napa Auto Parts Building.
Because Jan switched to Geico and saved hundreds of dollars on car insurance, her savings account wants to take her to a fireworks show. But it can't. It's a savings account. It can't read where the next fireworks show is in the local paper. Switch to Geico, and every time you see extra money, you'll know your savings account wants to take you to a fireworks show. But remember, it can't. It doesn't know how to read. It is, however, happy that you're saving money.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Discover card.
So that's it, I lost my job. My days of coaching football are over.
Well, that's tough, but you will bounce back. You've got our new IT card, so we'll lower your interest rate, lower your monthly payment, or find another way to help.
You'd do that for me?
Of course. You are a champion. Now, who are you?
A champion.
No, come on. Who are you?
A champion.
Who are you?
I'm a champion.
No, seriously, I need your name.
Oh, it's Steve. At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Job loss support. Get the new IT card at discover.com.
Do you suffer from bleeding gums, loose teeth, or bad breath? Dr. Dennis Clark can help. With gently applied laser light, bacteria are killed and diseased tissue removed, which means less inflammation and a fast, comfortable return to firmer teeth and a normal routine. Dr. Clark has been gently caring for his Mid-Valley patients for 25 years.
Hello, this is Dr. Dennis Clark. We do offer a full range of services, smile makeovers, oral surgery, and Invisalign wireless braces. But you don't have to leave your favorite dentist to get this amazing solution to your gum problem. I will gladly work with your dentist to help you with your gum problem without changing dentists.
Dr. Clark's skillful use of laser periodontal therapy will dramatically help. Bleeding gums heal, loose teeth tighten, the bone even grows back. For a free consultation about the no-cut, no-sew, no-fear solution for infected gums, loose teeth, and bad breath, call the Laser Dentist. Dr. Dennis Clark in Lebanon at 451-1440. 451-1440.
Laugh, cry, or get scared spitless with When Radio Was. Weeknights at 10 on 1580 KGAL.
Welcome back to Valley Talk, and with me in the studios once again, Hale Thornburgh, as we were both waxing eloquent and poetic and somewhat philosophical this morning, talking about the Salem Pops coming up. And I do want to remind you to get your entry in for Quiznos Taste on Us. At the end of the show, we're going to give away a $10 gift certificate for somebody at the Albany Quiznos location only, located across the parking lot from Novak's Restaurant and from the former G.I. Joe Sporting Goods location. How you enter, send me an email at dave@kgal.com or call the station at 926-KGAL, 451-KGAL. Hale, glad to have you on the show again. The 51st season Salem Pops Orchestra, an event is coming up Saturday, May 4th, 7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m. Elsinore Theater in downtown Salem.
We're going to talk about some of the kids going to the music camp.
Oh yeah, we have 7 of them that won prizes this year, or won tuition assistance. They've got a young baritone named Ben Pramick from McKay, who is headed toward the Bach Festival this year down in Eugene. Now, that's a very prestigious place to be singing. And then a couple of kids are going over to the Mel Brown Jazz Workshop at Western Oregon University. That's Brandon Presley out of West Salem, and Hannah Hickenlooper out of Jefferson. She plays guitar and bass and is a vocalist, and Brandon plays vibes and trombone. So, we're not just hung up on classical stuff on this. We also have Emily Wade. She has been a participant before. She's a marvelous, marvelous viola player out of McNary. Meg Cutting is out of South Salem High School, and she's an organist. She's going back to the Eastman Pipe Organ Encounter for young people back east. So that's just so great. And there's another violist, Hiram Kohler, out of McNary, and he's going to a summer camp at Brigham Young University. So I think that got, Emily Malcolm is a flute player. Oh yeah, she's out of Jefferson High School. Rich couple from Jefferson. And it's just great to have those young people going to such diverse camps.
Very talented young people. Speaking of talent, let's talk about the Salem Pops itself.
Okay.
What are the numbers are we playing? We've got about 4 minutes left to go in the show, so we want to make sure we tell them everything they need to know about the Pops event coming up Saturday, the 4th of May, 7:30 p.m. at the historic Elsinore Theater.
Oh, you're getting extremely good at that.
I'm working at that.
That's great, yeah. Next, we'll have me give you the announcement about turning off cell phones.
Please.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, we open with the Star Spangled Banner, and we close with the Stars and Stripes Forever. And in between, we earn our money as a Pops orchestra. We're going to be playing a salute to the big bands, which is an arrangement by Calvin Custer. Do everything from Pennsylvania 6-5000 to just some really great jazz stuff.
That's
Sing is part of that.
A lot of fun songs there.
Oh, it is. It is. Then we're going to be doing a symphonic portrait of Irving Berlin. You know, the guy is an immigrant, wrote two of our best holiday songs, Easter Parade and White Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, and he came from Russia, so what the heck. Then we're doing the highlights from Oliver and the highlights from Chicago, doing the movie score, and that's a lot of fun. Some great, great music in that. So the other number that we're doing that is fun, that a lot of us older people really like, is the music from South Pacific. You know, when I always like it because it has the tune in it, There's Nothing Like a Dame. You know, which I actually sang as part of a chorus when I was in college. Of course, that was in the 1750s, I believe.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
no,
right.
No.
But, it just has all the great songs from South Pacific. So it's going to be a fun program, but that's typical of what the Pops does.
Let's talk about the Pops. New conductor, Ike Nail.
Well, he's finishing up his first year, and we've pretty well broken him in, I think.
Good. Got all the rough patches smoothed over.
Pretty much so.
All right.
We're starting to treat him a little more gently now than when he first started. But he's a marvelous conductor. He really knows his music, knows his literature. He's been around the teaching game for years and years and years. Every level from professional with a Dallas Wind Ensemble to high school. He had taught at two different high schools right here in Salem. I say here in Salem. I should say there in Salem because I'm in Albany right now. At both Sprague and then at West Salem, and then he moved on to Western Oregon, where he's the director of orchestra and bands. His knowledge of the literature is extreme. He understands musicians. He is one.
We have about a minute left to go in the show here, so let's Salem Pops Orchestra, 51st season. It's Catch a Rising Star, Saturday, May 4th, 7:30 p.m. You can hear some very, very talented young people.
Right.
Where do they pick up tickets again?
Pick up tickets at the Elsinore Theater, the historic Elsinore Theater, or any Tickets West outlet at Safeway. You can pick them up there.
Salem Pops, a lot of fun. Hale, thank you for being with us on Valley Talk. Looking forward to having you back.
Thank you.
On the show again in the future. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Oscar Holt, Albany Downtown Association. We're going to be talking about the upstairs, downstairs wine walk. Of course, we'll have our average investment guy, John Gibson, in the studio. Also, back by popular demand, folks from the American Legion. They want to talk a little bit more about exactly what the American Legion does here in Albany. I'm Dave Adams, Valley Talk. Make it a great day. Enjoy the sun.
Locally owned and operated, this is the very independent News Talk 1580 KGAL, Lebanon, Albany, Corvallis.